All right, everyone, a very, very good morning. Today is the 1st of November, the first day of the month. Fresh month has begun. I hope all of you are having a great morning. I hope everyone had a great last night's sleep. And first of all, a very, very, very happy Diwali to each and every one of you present over here. May this festival of light shower upon you all the success, all the prosperity and happiness that one can endure. So I wish again from the bottom of my heart a very, very, very happy Diwali. Quite a lot of you people would be aware that yes, today being Diwali, the stock market is closed, right? So why is Harsh over here? Do not worry, I'm going to make sure to keep attending each and every, making sure that we have our live trading sessions no matter whether the market is on or the market is closed. But the best part about today is that since the market is closed, there are so many topics to cover pertaining to the other financial markets, the international financial markets, right? We are talking about the Forex markets and the commodities market like gold, oil, silver. So we're going to talk a lot about those particular aspects of the financial markets. Remember, just because the English share market is closed does not mean that the other markets are closed as well, right? Yes, we have our festival today and we should have a holiday, correct? Of course we should, but at the same time, it is very important for me to provide you with the awareness that just because the English share market is closed does not mean that all the markets are closed, and all the markets pretty much the international markets are still up and running. So I hope everyone is here, everyone is having a good time. I hope everyone is having a great day, and we are going to begin quite shortly. Just make sure that everyone present over here has their pen, paper, tea, coffee, water, even if they need to have their spouses or the girlfriends or boyfriends next to them to provide motivation to go through our live streaming session, then please do so. All right. A quick introduction about me, the one and only Harsh. I have 8 years of experience trading the financial markets. I have been trading the forex markets. I have been trading the commodity markets such as gold, oil, copper, platinum, palladium, etc. I even have been trading the US indices, correct? We have the S&P 500, the Dow Jones 30, the Nasdaq, as well as we have been currently looking at even the Indian share market. That's right, the Indian indices for analyzing what the market conditions are in the economy, as well as the individual Indian shares, all right, stocks. So I hope everyone is awake, everyone is happy today. I have been completely, more towards the technical aspect of trading. So I am a technical analyst and a trader myself, specializing in certain technical analysis such as supply and demand, trend analysis, order flow analysis, price action, Fibonacci ratio trading, and the list goes on and on and on. Sophia is here. Hello, Sophia. Good morning. All right. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you had a great last night's sleep. Sophia also writes the market is closed today so I won't lose any money. All right, the market is just closed only for today, right? But the market will again start on Monday, correct? So yes, today is the day to relax, to sit back, but at the same time to be more aware of the potential that the other markets can also provide, right? It's not just the Indian share market that we want to focus upon. Remember, we at Dolphin Markets are an international company, right? Our services are provided even based on the international market. So we don't just look at the Indian share market, we look at the international markets, right? The Forex, the commodity markets like oil, gold, silver, as well as CFD markets, right? In the CFD markets, which are basically certificate for difference. We will be talking more about them, and they would be mainly comprising of the US indices, right? So people are like, Harsh, we are not able to trade the Indian indices like the Nifty and Sensex, right? But I mean, when I'm talking about share markets, right, not about options or futures trading. But when we talk about CFD trading, yes, you can even trade the S&P 500, the Dow Jones 30, the Nasdaq 100, and some of the other countries' indices as well. Good morning, Sophia, once again. So, I hope everyone is ready. I hope everyone is charged. I hope everyone is attentive because you need to be sharp and clear between your ears, correct? Because since the market is closed, we get the opportunity to talk more about the forex and the commodity markets, right? So quickly, we at Dolphin Markets are making sure to provide you with the best services possible, right? Yes, the markets are closed, but that does not stop our enthusiasm. That doesn't stop our passion for providing you with vital information pertaining to analysis, right? When the share market is running, we talk about how the markets are performing. We provide you with analysis, and when certain opportunities arise, right, when certain trading opportunities arise, also known as hot stocks, correct? So we provide you with those. We want to showcase our potential of making money in the Indian share market, and if we can do well in the Indian share market, we can very well make much more significant profitability in the international markets, in the forex markets, as well as the CFD and the commodity markets as well. Very important to be aware that we are showcasing our performance, our credibility, what we are able, showcasing our potential, our credibility, and putting it onto a table for you people to understand and analyze that yes, we have been quite consistent in terms of how we have been providing you with hot stocks and how we have been making money. All right, Sophia is also writing, my mood has improved just because the market isn't open. Come on, Sophia, I mean, you should be more happier than us, right? Who's sitting at a 50 to 55% profitability? You are sitting, so you should be on top of the world, right? You are doing very well. Do not worry. Yes, the markets are closed today, but not nonetheless, we are here to give you an insight on the larger perspective. Remember, the Indian share market is just in terms of comparing the size, right? The Indian share market is just this big. When you compare the forex and the CFD markets, they are huge. I mean, it goes outside the screen, if you can understand. Very huge. So Sophia is asking, how are you spending Diwali today? Well, Sophia, currently I'm spending Diwali with you beautiful people, talking about the significance or the possibilities of the wider markets, the international markets. But in the evenings, yes, I'm going to have time. I will be spending time with my family, with my friends, if you understand. And yes, because Diwali is the festival of lights, correct? So this is the time to spend time with, to be with family, to be with close ones, to be with your friends, spouses, children, grandchildren. And because it happens once a year, so we want to make sure that we are able to provide you with information, as well as make sure that we share our happiness and our time with our closed family members as well. All right, so I hope even you do celebrate Diwali. I mean, Not necessarily for people who are only from India have to celebrate Diwali. People from any country can also celebrate Diwali, right? Right? They can light candles, they can light diyas, what we call in Hindi. You can burst firecrackers. I mean, it's basically a time to indulge in sweets and spread love and happiness. All right. So again, a very happy Diwali to each and every one of you out there, and to those people who celebrated Halloween yesterday. A very happy Halloween too. All right. Now let's quickly, so I'm sure I'm able to, explain to you our potential that we bring to the table. We do not just want to boost about our performance. We want to showcase our performance on a daily basis, as well as keeping our live streaming sessions as fun loving, as easy to understand. It is not just about a mentor, or an analyst or a teacher explaining to a student. It's more about the interaction that matters, correct? So that is the reason when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear, correct? I want to keep it as simple, as lively, as interactive as possible, so that we can enjoy and we can learn and we can make money, we can earn, right? We can enjoy, we can learn, and we can earn at the same time. So I hope people are having a good time. And thank you, Sophia, for asking about my Diwali plans. All right. Now, quickly, as we can see, based on the article, the stock market is closed. Just a quick, so that people are able to understand and be aware that yes, the markets are closed. The England share market is closed today because of Diwali. All right. So come on, I mean, this is like common sense, but still very important to be aware and showcase that yes, the English share market is closed because of Diwali. All right, the festival of lights. Now, before we continue, ahead, a very important point for me to share is that for people who would be attending our community, we are getting a lot of interest from all from people all across India. They are like, wow, Harsh explains so well. He's providing us with trading opportunities, he's able to make us money, but we have a small problem, we have a small challenge, and that challenge comes to language. So it is very important for me to make sure and be clear, because in terms of, many people are shy to even message in the chat box. They are like, Harsh, maybe we might feel insulted, maybe we might feel inferior. Do not worry, if you do not know English, अगर आपकी English कमजोर है, आप comment box में लिखिए, आप type कर सकते हैं, Harsh, please talk in Hindi also. अब सिर्फ मुझे बताने के लिए कि हाँ, there are people who are, because the majority of our community would be, able to understand English clearly and properly. But for those people who are having issues in understanding English, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी इंग्लिश कमजोर है और आप चाहते हो कि मैं हिंदी में भी बात करूं, तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखिए कि हर्ष, प्लीज टॉक इन हिंदी ऑल्सो, एंड फिर उसके हिसाब से आई विल टॉक इन इंग्लिश, और मैं हिंदी में भी बात करके आई विल ट्राई टू कनेक्ट द टू. एंड because our community is quite big and massive and it is ever growing, we're going to have people from all walks of life, from all sorts of experiences based on financial trading. Some are newbies, some are amateurs, some have mid-level of experience, and some are advanced. So we have to make sure that we are able to cater to each and every one of you. All right, I hope everyone is having, come on, today is Friday, today is the weekend, today is the start of the weekend, correct? Come on, to keep your sadness away, keep your mood swings away. Sophia, do not be, unhappy. I mean, you are happy because the markets are closed today, but nonetheless, let's relax. Today is Diwali. Plus, we have the weekends coming in. So, you are, anyways, already in a good state of relaxation. And today, I would just be providing you with more information about the Forex markets, right? The Forex and the CFD and the commodity markets. And for the first time on this live streaming session, I will also take into, I'll take a tour. I'll take you all on a tour on how dolphin market platforms look. How does the Forex and the CFD and the commodity markets look on Dolphin Markets platform. All right, so we have a lot to discuss about, so let's get started. All right, as quickly as you can see. Anyways, this has been what Sensex has done yesterday. There has been bearish sentiment nonetheless, but all right, now enough of indices and share market. Let's jump on to Forex. All right, so I hope people are aware of what Forex markets are, how the Forex market functions. I have always given this analogy in terms of what is the size comparison when it comes to Forex and the stock market. So I would want to quickly just showcase you, and oops, sorry. I want to quickly showcase you, in terms of the sizes, because people are aware of the English share market, but they're like, and they think that is a very huge market. But sorry to disappoint you, but the size compatibility between the Indian share market and the forex and gold markets is, you cannot compare it. It's huge. So let me just quickly type it. So this is basically the Indian share market. All right, and in terms of size, I'm comparing the size. If we had to visualize that this is the size of the Indian share market when it comes to the size of the forex market, I mean, we are not even joking around. It is a fact. The forex market is so huge, compared to the Indian markets, right? The forex and the gold mark, forex, gold and let me just write forex, commodities and CFDs, right? CFDs market. So I hope people are able to, let me move this aside. Yes. So in terms of the size comparison, I hope people are able to understand the big chunk where the Indian share market in terms of its size compatibility, right? Yes, there are billions of dollars which are traded on the Indian stock exchange, but when it comes to the international markets, the forex, the gold markets, which basically comprises of the commodity markets and CFD market. Now we are going to talk in detail about what CFDs are, how they are, and what they do, and how to trade CFDs. Now, in terms of when we are talking about billions of dollars, right? Billions of dollars are, we are talking from a dollar perspective, all right? Are exchanged every day, right, in the Indian share market. I hope people are able to understand. Billions of dollars, right, are traded every day on the Indian share market. But the last time that I was aware about what the daily capital activity in terms of cash flowing in and outside the forex market has come out to be almost at 5.9, if not 6 trillion dollars a day. I hope people are able to understand the significance, right? It is quite significant, right? When you're talking about certain, the sheer size, the sheer significance of what the Indian share market looks in front of the forex commodity markets, right? Now, currently, I hope people are aware that right now, as we talk, the overall sentiment, correct, in the Indian share market has been on the bearish side, correct? There has been bearish sentiment. I hope people are able to understand, correct? Now that there has been bearish sentiment, now there has been bearish sentiment for the last 1 month almost, right? So the prices have almost corrected by almost 8%, right? 8% correction. So people are like, who are looking at how the markets are in the Indian share market. I'm talking about the Nifty, right? I hope people can see. We're talking about Nifty. So based on how the market has been currently underperforming, there is a lot of skepticism when we showcase even a website. Let me show it to you. We are talking about ticker tape, right? So when it comes to ticker tape, in terms of the fear that currently the market possesses, right? Since the market is closed, but nonetheless, I hope people can see this, that the sentiment of the people, right, who are trading the Indian share market, they are in the fear, extreme fear zone. All right, so there are a lot of pessimism, uncertainty compared to what the geopolitical events are going across the globe. It is adding to it, right? The FIIs are pulling out the funds from the Indian economy. So there is bearish sentiment in the market, correct? Now, looking at how the charts are showing, yes, there has been bearish sentiment. People who are wanting to trade the Indian share market, even though with the markets under with the indices underperforming, imagine we are still able to showcase a potential, a profitability of around 97% trades. That is commendable, right? That is astonishing. That is very significant compared. But nonetheless, since people are like skeptical about, but Harsh, we want to trade the markets, but we do not like trading the Indian share market. We want to look at other markets where there are more potential, and to them is where I tell them to look at the forex markets. This is one pair that we kind of are looking at as of now, and I hope people have understood in terms of the size. We are talking, if there are just billions of dollars that are exchanged, in the English share market on a daily average, on a daily basis in the forex and the CFD markets, you have around $6 trillion. I hope people are able to understand the significance of what we are talking, right? We are not just talking about one pair. The forex pair, the entire forex market comprises of various pairs. We are going to talk more about it, but this is just to show you the significance of how big the forex and the CFD markets. When I'm talking about forex, it includes everything, right? So for people who are like, Harsh, are these different markets? No, they all, the forex, commodities, and the CFD markets are all kind of clustered under a single name, and that name goes just by the FX markets, right? In short form, right? I mean, who wants to always say forex, commodities, and CFDs, right? So we just call them as FX markets, short form for forex markets, right? So look at the size, look at the potential that people have. We are even including commodities, right? So which other commodities include metals, right? Resources that are scarce on planet Earth, and are have value to them, right? One of the most precious metals, I hope everyone is aware, is gold, right? So gold currently has been in an upward trajectory for quite a while, right? I mean, it is the highest that price has reached, almost touching $2,800 per ounce of gold. So understand, it's per gram of gold. Imagine the intensity that the markets have in terms of forex. When the market conditions have been bearish in the Indian indices, as you can see, with almost an 8% correction. On the other hand, when you look at gold, you have an appreciation where price has almost touched at an all-time high. So imagine the significance that we are trying to explain with what we had explained in terms of sheer size of how big the sizes are compared to the Indian share market. So people should understand that yes, there are other markets which are more bigger, which have more potential to make more money, correct? We had talked about how the Indian share market has a lot of restrictions in terms of because they have leverage issues, correct? In terms of they provide you a leverage of 1:5. You can trade 5 times your capital during the market hours. All right, I mean, once the market concludes or once the market closes, the liquidity, the margin shrinks back to 1:1, right? I have typed it again, but let me just type it quickly so people are aware. We get 1:5 leverage. Remember, we are talking about Indian stock market. Let me just make it clear. I'm trying to compare the Indian share market with Forex, right? And then we will delve into what are the different Forex pairs, how many pairs can we trade, what are the, the positive points as well as the negative points. Let's look at all those points. All right. So in terms of the Indian share market limitations, right? We have just a 1 is to 5 leverage, that too intraday, right? I hope people understand. Just during that particular market day, you have just a leverage of 1 is to 5, right? Now, if you have a short running, you can only short it during market hours. So shorting is allowed. Let me just put yeah, quotes. So shorting is allowed only during market hours. I hope people are able to understand. These are certain limitations that currently the share market, the English share market, is having. So in terms of 1 is to 5 leverage, we are allowed to short. I mean, everyone knows we can buy, correct? The stock market, the share market is a place where you can buy shares. But when it comes to selling shares, for people are like, how can we sell without buying? But those are, fine, but we'll talk more about it. Sophia also writes, why did the gold prices plummet last night? We will look at it, Sophia. We will look at it. We are coming to it. Do not worry. So shorting is allowed only during market hours for the Indian share market. That's where we compared it to what are the advantages, correct, of how the markets are performing, why the markets are like, what are the advantages, sorry, of the Forex and the CFDs. Good timings. Again, we are only able to trade the Indian share market during the Indian market timing hours, right? From 9:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. But Forex comprises of, timings which are almost 24 hours for 5 days a week. So you can trade from Monday all the way till Friday. You can go long as well as short. You have, where you had a leverage of 1 is to 5 on the Indian share market, individual stocks. Here you have easily an average leverage of 1 is to 100, right? Imagine. So these are certain points that are of quite significance when people think about what the markets are and how. All right, now Sophia is asking, why did the gold prices plummet yesterday? Let's quickly analyze and find out why. Now, people, please be aware that the gold market has been on, if I zoom out, right? The gold market has been in a clear upward trajectory for quite a while. I hope people can see that, correct? Now, also bear in mind that the gold market is also called as a safe haven, correct? Safe haven is nothing but that financial product where people flock to, that people run towards in times of uncertainty. So when people are scared or skeptical or do not know where to park their funds, right? They use gold as a safe haven. Our parents, our grandparents always used to inform us that, you should always have gold, reserves. Like either you buy jewelry or you can buy gold coins or you can buy gold bars. You get the point. They say that gold retains its value because gold is scarce in on planet Earth. The value of gold eventually will be, increasing. Gold has a lot of significance. It has a lot of properties. You can convert it from one product to another without losing its essence. It sticks to its, I mean, there are a lot of, benefits of having gold, so on and so forth. So that is why people consider gold as a safe haven. Please bear in mind, because of the uncertainty, almost going back to the year 2022, almost since the last 2 years, on an average, the prices, at least by 2023 onwards, the prices have been skyrocketing, right? A lot of geopolitical uncertainty is going on. So based on that, there has been a huge fluctuation towards gold. Now, in terms of why the correction happens or why did gold prices plummet yesterday? Sophia, you have to understand, and not just Sophia, but everyone. This is a very important but a very crucial piece of information to understand. The markets can never travel in one direction. They always correct themselves. I hope people are able to understand. Remember, as and how the markets move. The markets, yes, overall, the general consensus for gold is bullish, right? But if you focus on the individual swings, based from a technical analyst, the prices of gold will not just go up and up. They will correct. They will have periods of movement to the upside, to the downside, to the upside, to the downside, and to the upside, to the downside. Similarly, right now, as you can see, there has been a correction. Now, why the correction has been? It is because of the uncertainty that the US elections hold. Remember, people are having opinions in terms of what the markets are going to do I hope people are aware that the US elections is just around the corner. Today is the 1st of November. In just 4 days, right? So in 4 days, so basically in 2 working days, right? I mean, we want to exclude Saturdays and Sundays, but what I'm trying to say is the market has already, started to take into consideration what might be a possibility. Remember, what might be a possibility. I am not saying what will happen, what is certain. The prices have started to correct, right? Because again, for a marketplace to thrive, there has to be buyers and sellers. There have been a lot of buyers, so there are people who have been making money. Remember, there are people who have entered, maybe at the 2400 area. There might be people who are entering at 2300 area. There might be people who have entered at 2500 area. The marketplace is not just a place to take trades, it's a place to make money, right? How can you make money? For people who have bought, all right, gold at cheaper prices are closing, are selling. Remember, the prices are not infinitely going to keep uprising. There are people that are buying and holding gold, but there is a significant portion of people who are trading gold, who are buying, selling, buying, right? That is the reason prices can never be in an indefinite upward movement. Prices need to have corrections. Similarly, when people who have bought prices maybe at 2400, 2000, anywhere, to the lower areas of price, when price starts to move, people start to book profits. Remember, now the US elections are just around the corner. As and how uncertainty is coming in, people are being skeptical. Yes, people have flocked to the safe havens, but they haven't started flocking to the safe havens from today. It's been going on almost since the year 2022, right? Right from the onset of different political unrest going across the country, the markets have shot up. So for people who have bought gold, for institutions who have bought gold at cheaper prices, they want to start capitalizing. Remember, for you to make money, you have to close the trade also, right? You can't just buy a trade. So that is the reason we do have these kind of, falls taking place. Remember, corrections taking place, people are squaring off their positions. For people who have bought gold, are selling that gold back, so they are closing trades, correct? And that is why you have these kind of candles. So Sophia, yes, the prices are not just plummeting, but people who have been buying prices at cheaper prices for them to capitalize, right? Everyone wants to make money, correct? So for people who have been going long, have started to square off positions. We call it as square off positions, or in simple terms, close trades. Let me get it inside. Let me shorten it out. So basically, for people who have been going long since the earlier, who had bought when gold was at cheaper prices, 2000, 2100, 2500, 2600. Right now the price had reached to a peak of around 2000, approximately 2800, right? That is the position where people are like, all right, now we feel that the price of gold has been too much, what do you call, has become too expensive. Now we feel that the value of gold is overpriced. Remember, the prices keep fluctuating, but there's always, a value at which you feel that you are getting a better value, which we call it as intrinsic value. and sometimes it becomes expensive, extrinsic, correct? So now corrections are taking place because people are squaring off positions, closing, and with significant political events which are occurring the next week, people are like, we will close our trades and we will see what we expect, right, for the upcoming future. I hope, Sophia, that has been able to give you a clear understanding. Elections are around the corner. People who have been entering longs, or people who have been buying gold since the last couple of days to the last couple of weeks or to the last couple of months, now they are like, okay, we have made significant profit. And I think like how people started to close positions, we are expecting a similar phase now. Does that have any kind of significance on the US elections? No. People just want to make profits and be clear that we can always enter again. But if till the time a trade is not closed, right, till the time you do not square off a position, that money that is running in the trade account is not capitalized, right? So for you to capitalize money, you have to make sure that you close the trade, right? And if you close a long position, it becomes a short, right? What is the opposite of long short, right? So people who have bought trades at lower prices have gone long. So to close a long trade, it invariably becomes a short trade, right? That is how a market runs, a buyer and a seller. So for people who have bought at lower prices, they're selling to a seller, correct? So that is how the the close position occurs, and that is how you have these movements in price. I hope people are able to understand. I hope I'm able to give you a clear understanding as to why the markets are plummeting. The markets keep moving, up and down. But overall, based on the last couple of days, especially with the upcoming of the US elections as well as Diwali, people are like, let us close our trades, let us book our profits, and we will see what the next week holds. All right, I hope people are able to understand. All right, I hope no one is sleeping. Okay, please come on. You have to be active. All right, let's quickly look. I've spent a lot of time talking about gold, but the main crux is not just about gold, but about forex also, right? So we're going to look at what forex is talking, holds for us. Remember, there are majorly there are seven major pairs that kind of influence the financial markets, right, that influence the world markets as a whole, right from the US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. So these have the most amount of significance, and the most important ones definitely has to be the dollar. I hope people are able to understand. The most significant importance is always given to the dollar, correct? Then followed by the other pairs. So when we look at the forex market, right, I showed you at the initial phase of today's live streaming session, the forex market has almost a daily turnover, or a daily market movement of trillions worth of dollars, almost hitting 6 trillion. That is insane per day. Remember, it's not per month, not per annum, per day. So when looking at the forex pair, the most important emphasis goes on to the US dollar because of its significance in terms of world power and infrastructure and politics, followed by the other pairs. But does that mean that the other pairs are less significant? No. Remember, in terms of looking at a stock, like for example, we were talking about any stock from one of our hot stocks, for example, Evantel. All right. I hope people who have who had taken trades on Evantel, yes, the markets are closed today, but look, we are making profits, and soon we will be able to close our profits of Evantel and convert our 97 profitability to hopefully cross fingers, right? Hopefully to 100% profitability. So what I was trying to say is that for a stock such as Evantel, it is a single stock that you are buying or that you are trying to sell. But when you look at the forex market, they are always having they're always having a currency in terms of two currencies together, right? So as I hope people can are aware about this particular. One second. Yes. So, oops. We have the forex pair basically functions as two currency pairs, against each other. So we have the first pair, which is called as the quote or base currency, right? That is the undermining factor. And the second pair, let me just show it to you with an arrow so people can be exactly aware of what I'm talking. The first pair comprises of the quote currency or the base, which is the underlying currency. The third or the second one is the reference based on the first currency. So if it is the euro against the dollar, it basically signifies that currently 1 euro at the moment, as you can see, the price of today right now, as the prices are fluctuating, but for the price of 1 euro, sorry, the price of 1 euro is 1.08737. That just showcases that 1 euro is 1.08, 73, whatever the value is, dollars. So that is how the two are, we are able to connect the two together. So the first pair currency is called as the quote or the base currency, based on what you look at the markets, right? For example, if you're looking at the euro dollar, as we are talking about it, if the price is going up for now, that shows that the euro is appreciating in value, and inversely the dollar is depreciating. If one currency is going up, the other one is going down. I hope people are able to understand, right? So as of now, since you could see from the below example, right, since the prices have been, currently bullish on the euro dollar, that signifies that the price of euro is appreciating in value. At the same time, the price of dollar is depreciating in value, right? It's more or less like a seesaw. I hope people are able to understand this, right? It's like a seesaw. If I hope everyone is aware of what the seesaw is in our childhood, or especially when we look at our kids. I mean, when you look at your kids, I'm not married, so I don't have kids. But for people who do have kids, when you take them to parks, correct, for them to enjoy, or when you yourself were a kid at some point in time, you used to, like, ride this particular or used to enjoy this particular ride, correct? It's called as the seesaw. So people used to sit at the opposite corners, and they used to swing from one corner to the other, right? So similarly, if the person sitting on the left, pushes it up and goes higher, the person inversely on the opposite side will go lower, and vice versa. If this person, uh, jumps and pushes the seesaw higher, the person on the opposite side will go lower. That is called, in simple terms, as the seesaw effect, right? If one person goes up, the other person automatically goes down, and vice versa. So similarly, the euro dollar, any forex pair in general, remember, we have many forex pairs. We have euro dollar, we have gbp dollar. So it's always, two pairs against each other. We have the Canadian dollar, the American dollar against the Canadian dollar, or we have the dollar against the Japanese yen. For people, remember, the term dollar is, mainly focused on the American dollar, because I'm pretty much sure a lot of you would be having questions in terms of, but Harsh, there is also a Australian dollar, there is also Canadian dollar, there is also New Zealand dollar. So we call them as, we have other terms for those, right? Like, for example, the Australian dollar, to keep it simple and not to confuse which dollar are we talking about. The Australian dollar in general is called as Aussie, all right? As well as if you're looking at the Canadian dollar, the Canadian dollar is called as loonie. All right, so there are different terms, different terminologies, or different wordings, used by people from all across the globe. So the Australian dollar is called as Aussie, the Canadian dollar is called as loonie, and the New Zealand dollar is called as Kiwi. All right. I hope people are able to understand. These are certain, interesting points that people can even share with their friends and family members, or if you want to impress your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you can use these terminologies, right? They will be like, wow, what are you talking about? So the euro is simple as it's called, the euro. But when we talk about the dollar, right, it generally is focused on the US dollar, right? And in terms of the other currency pairs, such as the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar, they have different terminology, such as the Australian dollar is called as Aussie, the Canadian dollar is called as Loonie, and the New Zealand dollar is called as the Kiwi. For Swiss franc, we just call it as Swiss, For people who want more information about this particular currency, it's called as Swiss. And when it comes to the British pound, how can we forget the British pound, right? So we have another pair. Let me type that one second. Give me a minute. So we have another pair, which is basically the Great British Pound, right? I hope people are able to understand this. The eighth pair is called as the Great Britain GBP, right? And GBP is basically called as cable. Now, why people it's called as cable? I mean, there are several reasons out there that there is basically networking, an information, a telecommunication cable which connects, US with that is basically connected. Sorry, that connects the Euro continent with GBP, right? With Great Britain, because Great Britain is an island, right? So there is a cable that connects, in terms of network connectivity. So that is why they call it as the cable. Now, why they call Canadian dollar as the loonie, I'm not sure, but maybe that's how they the general term that is being used in that particular country. So there are many names, many different words that people use for such currency pairs. But in crux, whenever we talk about the dollar, it's going to be pertaining to the US dollar, right? And for the other so-called dollar pairs, the American, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, you can use different terms for those. So I hope people are able to understand. But unlike the Indian share market or the individual stocks, where the price is basically, is talking about one particular share of a company like Muthoot Finance, like RBL, correct? RBL is a bank, is comprises only of RBL bank shares. We got IP rings, we got Evantel. So these are single terminologies, right, of a particular company. But unlike the forex pairs, right, you have two pairs, which are mentioned against each other. I hope people are able to understand. There are It's one pair against the other, and that is the main reason why we can buy and sell. Unlike the Indian share market, where you can buy and sell but only intraday, or you can buy and hold. Unlike the forex markets, you can buy and sell. The reason you can buy and sell is because there are two forex pairs against each other, right? So you can do, if you are buying, for example, currently the price of euro is going up. For people who are buying the euro, who are buying the euro dollar. So what does that significance stand for? If you're buying euro dollar, you're basically buying the euro and selling the dollar. And similarly, during this phase when people were selling, right? During that phase, people were selling the euro, but inversely they were buying the dollar, right? So I hope people are able to understand how can we buy and sell, together. Remember, it's always two currency pairs against each other, right? If one goes up, the other one automatically goes down, and if one automatically goes down, the other automatically goes up. Both are interconnected. So based on this, there are many, around 27 pairs which are highly liquid, right? They are around 27 pairs, right? 27 pairs, 27 forex pairs, FX pairs, which are highly liquid. Now, what do you mean by highly liquid? Certain currencies are traded very I mean, the transactions of those currencies are phenomenal. We talked about how these main pairs are, right? Now the currencies of the currencies of these particular eight pairs, right? They have significantly, huge transactions that take place, especially the dollar, right? When it comes to the US dollar, it is phenomenal. But there are other pairs of other currencies, such as, other countries which are developing, which do not have much liquidity in the market. So that is the reason I have mentioned that overall there are 27 forex pairs. We are going to dive more into it. Remember, we have these live streaming sessions not just for one day, we have it every single day. So there is so much of information to talk about, there is so much of information to provide to you. Since today being Diwali, the festival of lights, the English share market is closed, right? And that is the reason we are talking more about what the forex pairs are, how the gold markets are performing. And we have, remember, the forex markets are open. As you can see, the market is running, correct? So unlike the English share market, the other markets are still up and running. I hope people are able to understand, and I hope how we are able to provide you with vital information that showcases that not just about the opportunities that one can have, in the forex and gold markets, but also the advantages. You can buy and sell. You have a good leverage of 1 is to 100. You can, uh, you have so much of flexibility. Market timings, you can trade during the market. You can trade in the morning, you can trade in the afternoon, you can trade in the evening, you can trade at midnight. You get the point. I mean, unlike the English share market where you can trade only between 9:15 and 3:30 p.m. 3:30 in the afternoon, the forex markets can be traded for 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? Saturdays and Sundays the markets are closed. Now, quickly, we'll give you a good, just a good understanding of what the forex markets are, how the forex market looks compared to, the English share market in terms of its size. Now, let's come and look at the main important service of dolphin markets. Remember, we talked about, forex markets, we talked about gold markets, we talked how they are compared to the English share market, and the huge, significance in terms of comparing the forex and the English share market is quite significant. But you are like, but Harsh, where can we trade forex? Where can we trade gold markets? And that is where Harsh and dolphin markets, right? We want to show you how the platform of dolphin markets look, and how, the basic outlines of how the markets are, on this particular broker. I hope so. Let's dive into the brokerage platform. I hope people can see my screen. So as you can see, this is how dolphin markets, the brokerage platform looks like. Yes, we have an MT5 account. All right, MT5 is basically a Russian based company called MetaCodes. So everyone is widely or aware of MT4, correct? This is the upgraded version called as MT5. All right. So as you can see, we currently have these markets which are mentioned at the left, right? So this is the entire market watch, like how we have market watch on TradingView, right? We have, we have different stocks or different shares that we can, keep assigned to, so that we can immediately, be able to get them on the charts. Similarly to that, on dolphin markets MT5 platform, we also have our watch list, which comprises of different forex pairs, right? Like I mentioned, forex pairs are two currency pairs, linked to each other. So if one goes up, the other goes down, and vice versa. We even have other indices, like for example, as you can see, the Australian 200, right? This is the index of the Australian stock market. All right. Similarly, we have another commodity called copper. I mean, you all are aware of gold, silver, We even have markets related to copper. We have even the France index, right? We even have gas. natural gas. Then we have many products, right? So many forex pairs to look at. With so many forex pairs comes along, the wide scope or the possibility to more opportunities, right? We even have the UK 100, the FTSE, correct? The UK's index of the UK stock market, as well as we have the US stock index as well, the US 30, the Dow Jones 30, correct? We even have the US Nasdaq 100, we have the S&P 500, we have silver XAG USD. I hope people can see my screen, correct? We have silver, then we have gold XAUUSD, so on and so forth. So this is typically how a brokerage platform looks on MT5, and this is how the brokerage platform of Dolphin Market looks. Now quickly let me just change the colors to make it a little more captivating. I know it's very dark, right, for majority of you people, so let me quickly change the color, right? I hope now it is much better. So as you can see, like any other chart, let me go back to TradingView. The way that you can see charts on TradingView is exactly the way the charts are on MT5, right? So I hope I'm able to make that clear right now for people who are, telling, but Harsh, could you give us a small gist about how the platform looks, how we can put trades, how we can, and the basic functionality. So let me explain it quickly, all right? I hope people are awake. I hope people are not sleeping. For some people who think that they already are aware about this, good for you, and it can be a good revision for you as well. But for other people who want to understand, yes, Harsh, please tell us more about how the software works. What are the most important points to consider on the platform? So as you can see, if you go to any currency pair, for example, let me go to euro dollar, right? So here we have euro dollar. All you have to do is either right click and you can click on a chart window, right? So like this, you will have a separate chart that opens from the bottom. Or the best thing is, one second, or the other thing that you can do is click on euro dollar and drag it. Hold your mouse button and drag it onto the screen. So as you can see right now, it is Aussie dollar. The moment I drag it, I get euro dollar. So I hope I'm trying to keep it simple, but it's good for people who want to understand, correct? At the same time, this is how the screen looks. If you do want to change the background, make it, as per your customization, go to properties. Okay, so people can't see the menu coming, no problem. Anyways, this is how the market is looking. Now, in terms of how to place a trade, how to do what, so we have something called as, people can see the tab on top, right? It is called as trade panel. So all you have to do is click on this icon and you will have the, you will have a drop down option, and there you have the option to buy and sell. So that is where you can place your trade. Now then people are like, okay, but Harsh, what I do after placing? Where can I see my trades running? So for that you have something called as terminal, correct? So for opening the terminal, let me open the terminal, right? The terminal looks something like this. So you have your balance. All right. Since this is, remember, I'm showing it to you on a demo account to make you aware of how the platform works. So right now, as you can see at the bottom, one second, it's getting covered because of the screen. Let me zoom out a little bit. One second. All right. I hope people can see my screen, right? All right. What I'm trying to showcase is on the bottom left hand side, right? You have the trade, you have, history, exposure, so on and so forth. So trades, the moment you place a trade, for example, the market of euro dollar is running. If I want to buy, I can click on buy, and the moment I click on buy, I have a trade that is running as of now. I hope people can see that, right? One second. I hope people can see it, right? The moment I clicked on buy, I have a running position at the bottom, correct? Now we have different tools to look at. We have people can look at the options and can decide for themselves as to what, how, and there are innumerable amount of tutorials out there that can help you understand what the markets are, how to look at what, and so on and so forth. But in general, this is how the markets look. You have the different time frames on top. I hope people can see all the way from 1 minute to monthly. So we have 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, as well as monthly. All right, as well as monthly. So for people who are like, but Harsh, are these the only um time frames that are allowed on trading on MT5? No, you have other time frames as well. But for that, all you have to do is go to your time frame. I hope people can see my mouse. Right click on any time, go to customize, and then you can change it. All right. So coming back to the daily, this is how the charts look. If you want to place an indicator, remove an indicator, all you have to do is double click. Remember, you have all the options on top. Whether you want to insert, whether you want to view the indicator. Give me a minute, 1 second. No, you go. I'm not able to see that. Once I right click, the option is not available on this particular platform. But nonetheless, this is how the indicator looks. On the left hand side, I hope people can see my screen. We have something called as a navigator. So under that navigator is what you have, different options or different things to look at in terms of account. How many accounts? Remember, MT5 gives you the advantage of linking multiple accounts, right? Unlike an Indian share market broker where you can only link, I guess, one account per per platform. Here you can link almost as many as 30 to 50 accounts. Anyways, we just have one market, which is dolphin markets as of now. Then we have something called as indicators, right? So indicators is where you can uh, go through the list and you can place. For example, if I want to put a moving average indicator, I double click it, I set my parameters based on what I want to see, and this is how the indicator gets projected onto the screen, correct? Similarly, you can use any other indicator of your wish and go through the entire list. For people who are asking, Harsh, how do we see indicators? This is exactly how you do. Then we have something called as expert advisors. Now expert advisors become a little more on the complicated side, but you can use algos on MT5 to, or make algos or create algos for people who are into you know um, coding, right? They can prepare algos on MT5, and they can let the trade automatically take place. So those are basically where you have expert advisors. Some are provided by the broker, by metacodes, and the other ones you can prepare by yourselves, right? As well as all the markets that are. So we have forex pairs, we have gold. Let me open gold for you. This is how the gold market looks on our platform. It's going to be the same when we look at trading view, or when we look at gold in general. The main movement of price will always remain the same. The way price looks on trading view on our brokerage platform is exactly the same as the way it looks on trading view, because all the markets, yes, we have different brokerage firms all across the world, but ultimately the market remains the same, correct? So that is how we use in terms of what services are provided based on forex, based on commodities such as silver, copper, gold. Gold is the main market for commodities, as well as some of the indices, right? Like I was talking about, for example, the S&P 500. This is how the S&P 500 looks on that platform. Very similar, right? I hope people are able to understand and people are able to get a clear gist of how the platform looks. For people who are having more questions in terms of, Harsh, that was good, that was very interesting, but Can you provide us more information? Do not worry. MT5 platform is widely used all across the globe, right? Many of the brokers across the globe use MT5 as their platform. So it's going to remain the same. I know there are a lot of people over here who already know how to use it and are like, Harsh, we already are aware, but I want to, make the entire community understand as a whole that yes, this is how the brokerage platform looks. Remember, you can go, you can play around with the options, figure out, what the view option shows, what the insert option shows. You can right click, you can play around, understand. Remember, you can always open a demo account to, get a clear understanding of how the markets are looking, how to look at the brokerage platform, how to place trades. As I had mentioned, you can buy as well as sell. You can take trades. If you take trades, you have a terminal that opens at the bottom where you can see trades running, so you can manage your trades. When you're making profit, you can close positions, make money. The history showcases, all the trades that have been placed, in the past, so that you are able to understand, yes, this is the entire, record of how, we as a trader have performed. So there is so much that, we have covered in terms of how the brokerage platform looks, how MT5 looks. For people who are not aware, you can always go to YouTube or Google and understand how the brokerage platform looks. But in general, this is the brokerage platform that Dolphin Markets are providing, and this is an overview of how MT5 platform looks. Right? There is so much more to talk about. I mean, we have just scratched the surface, right? But since we are here, 5 days a week, right from Monday till Friday, and I'm making sure to be here 3 times a week. So, I don't want to, overload you beautiful people with a lot of information, correct? So I'm trying to keep it, structured, and trying to provide you bits and pieces of information that can overall help you understand. Remember, the markets are closed, right? The Indian share market is closed today, and that is the reason we are trying to look at better markets, how the markets on like how the other international markets are, because the other international markets are up and running, right? So just because the Indian share market is closed does not mean that you cannot trade the other markets as well, correct? So I hope people are able to understand, people are able to get a good amount of learning, from what I've been talking. For some people who are like, Harsh, but we are already aware of this, I get it, but I need to make sure that the entire community is understanding as a whole. We talked about the significance of how big the forex markets are in compared to gold. Very important to understand its significance, right? It is huge, very huge, right? In terms of the sheer size that in terms of the sheer size that the forex markets hold, in terms of the gold market, the English share market, right? We talked about it. We even mentioned in terms of the most important currency pairs that we turn look at in terms of forex. We even talked about how significantly gold has an upper hand when it comes to commodities, and how using gold as one of using gold as a safe haven for people who have understood that during times of uncertainty, people want to park, their funds where it is safe. And that is exactly what has been happening on gold since quite a while, almost since the beginning of this year. The prices have been, appreciating in value and have been continuing to the upside. So for people who have taken those trades in the past, who understand the significance of gold, they might be doing quite well. As for Sophia, she was asking why the prices are plummeting. Sophia, the markets keep moving up and down. The markets have to breathe, right? So if a market goes up, the market needs to correct down as well. So that is why currently there has been some closing of positions. There have been not shorts. I mean, in terms of the candle size, right? The candle dictates that people have been closing their long position. For people who had bought, who had bought price when gold was at a value of 2,500, or maybe even lower, maybe at 2,000, maybe at 1,800. For those people, they have started to square off. Remember, today is Friday, Friday being the end of the month, with the onset of Saturday and Sunday, as well as the next week having the US elections, right? So there is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of you know there's a lot of conflicts of opinions, correct? And because of that, people are like, we want to make traders or investors are, let us take a step back, let us close our positions. People who had taken long at lower areas have started to close. And what is closing of trades? What is the opposite of a long is short? So basically, people who are buying, for them to close their trades, it is invariably a short. So what I'm trying to say is people are squaring off positions, and that is the reason why you can see this long wick coming out. Right? I hope I was able to explain. We have given a clear understanding of what the gold markets are, what the forex markets are in terms of its size, in terms of its sheer size compared to the Indian share market. We talked about the advantages, right? We talked about how better or how advantageous the FX and the gold markets, right, are compared to the Indian share market. You can go long, short, you can hold shorts, unlike the Indian share market. You have a good leverage of 1 is to 100 at the minimum, right? I mean, there are certain brokers that I am aware of that even provide 1 is to 1,000, 1 is to 5,000. It is insane, but please understand that with every increase in leverage, there is an increase on the opposite side. Like, it's like a double-edged sword. It can cut, but it can even cut you also. In terms of what I'm trying to explain is, you have to understand and weigh the strength or the power that the forex market provide, or the leveraged products provide, right? So and plus, in terms of market timings, you can trade it for 24 hours a day, 5 days a week when it comes to the forex and gold markets, unlike the Indian share market that can be only traded during Indian share market hours. And if you are taking short positions during a particular day, yes, you can, but it has to be squared off during the same day. You cannot hold it for the next day. In terms of leverage of just a meager 1 is to 5, the forex, which is given in the Indian share market, you are getting a leverage of 1 is to 100 in the forex and gold markets. That is completely insane, mind blowing. So please understand, the potential that we can bring, in the forex markets as well. If we can generate a profitability of 97%, right, of the Indian share market by trading Indian stocks, imagine what we can provide to you when we are looking at the forex and the gold markets. We have more timing, we have more opportunities to look for, we have more options to look for in terms of trades such as forex. How many pairs of forex we have disclosed? There are more than 28 pairs, when it comes to those forex pairs that have good liquidity, that have good volume. We can look at gold markets, we can look at silver markets, we can look at CFD markets, right? I had talked to you about certain pairs when we were looking at the platform, correct? We looked at the broker, our brokerage also provides you with other indices such as the France index, the Hong Kong index, the Japanese index, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the UK, the where is it? The UK index, and the Dow Jones 30, the US index, right? So, I mean, look at the power, look at the potentials of making much more significant returns. If a return of 97 profitability is achieved in the Indian share market, which in the market that is not performing that well, imagine what we can give you, in the forex, gold, and CFD markets. So I hope people have been able to get a good understanding of the significance that we are able to provide. Please make sure. All right. Since today the market is closed, I know a lot of you people would be like, not been interested to attend because there were no opportunities to make money, but that's okay. Me being harsh, I have to make sure that I can provide you with more information about other markets. And today has been the best day, right, in terms of disclosing that information, because since the niche share market is closed, I can talk more about the other international markets. I can talk about the forex markets. I can talk about the gold and CFD markets, correct? So I hope people have got a good understanding. We did cover a lot of topics. Yes, they have been still, we have just scratched the surface. There is so much more to look into. Once people start, getting onboarded onto a platform, we can start showcasing you the real potential of making money. All right. So I hope everyone has a great continuation of their morning into the afternoon. And again, a very happy Diwali to each and every one of you out there. May this festival of light shower you with all the success, all the prosperity, all the happiness that you wish for. All right. So I will see you in today's second live streaming session, where we'll again talk more about forex and how the brokerage platform looks, and provide you with more insights and more details as to the advantages and the opportunities that await us, right, in the forex and gold market. So I will see you in the second live streaming session. Until then, make sure you have a great day, and I will see you later. All right then, take care. Bye bye.